institutes of this country, and I wish you all the best. So with that, I'll just share my screen. I'll do a quick presentation, and I really hope that it's going to help most of you. And I'm more than happy to take any questions towards the end of the session. I'll probably leave about 10 to 15 minutes or a minimum of 10 minutes to do a quick round of interactions in case you have any specific questions around the industry. What is that is going to happen with so much of uh, corona in the air these days? So if you have any such questions in mind, please feel free to ask towards the last 10 minutes. So I hope I'm audible, Archana.
Yes, you're audible, and we can see your screen also.
Okay, great. So I'll start then.
Yes.
Great. So I think one important thing that I would want to mention now that you are getting into a very professional course, towards the end of which you will also enter into the industry, which demands a lot from individuals, competent individuals like yourselves. There is no Saturday and Sunday, so please forget to take rest on Saturday and Sunday. These are the only 2 years where you will have Saturday and Sunday. So gear up for Friday, and then Monday starts again. So with that note, I would want to start my session. Uh, we will be talking about the opportunities, trends, and challenges. And these are my personal thought. It is not that it is published in some of the articles, and you can go and read further. Everything in this presentation is my personal thought, from my experience, from my interaction with people in the industry. So please feel free to question me at towards the end in case you think any of my thoughts are different from yours. Okay. I would want to quickly introduce again, more than my name. I think what is relevant is we share a common relation. I was a part of batch of 2005 in MCA in MIT, MCA at MIT. So it was a 3 years course then. I believe it is a 2 years course now, which is at least you have 1 year at your advantage. You can quickly pass out and then join the industry. Uh, for now, I'm working with an organization called Altrum Lerin. It's a startup. It's been about 2 years into business, and the best part is the the startup is formed by MCA students. So all of the 2005 batch out, three of us, one of the person has founded it, and two of us are supporting. So all the three uh, leadership roles in the organization in Altrum Lerin is taken by us. So I'm the chief sales officer. My friend, my batchmate of MCA who was with me, who passed out in 2005, is the MD and founder, and another batchmate who again was with me, my roommate. He is the chief technology officer. So the reason I'm saying this is the next 2 years that you're going to spend in this institute is quite crucial. You'll find business partners, you'll find friends who can be associated with yourselves all throughout your life. So it is very important that you understand what is the criticality of this course. From a professional background, like Archana ma'am said, it is I play a role of techno-functional consultant, so that's been my interest. I try and stay away from coding because I don't like coding. However, it is important that I understand technology, I understand the architecture. Therefore, I read about technology, I read about what new things are coming into market, and understand, because my role is to talk to the customer. So unless I talk sense, it doesn't make uh, a difference when I speak with the customer. I played multiple roles of business analyst, domain consultants, and all areas of interest. Uh, Enterprise functional consultant, playing roles of business analyst, gathering requirements. Irrespective of my role, I've been interested in talking to various customers. And lastly, I always engage myself in talking to fresh graduates like yourselves, because I think whatever I learn from industry has to be passed back to institutes and universities where the fresh minds are being groomed. So that's one of my reason that I do. I am very keen public speaker and engage with institutes. And the logo that you see here is not the logo of my company. This is a logo that I use when I do personal presentation. So this is not the company logo. This is my own presentation logo. So just thought to clarify on that. With that note, yeah, I think with that note, I would want to start this presentation with a very small story, which I feel is very much relevant at this point in time. Can I request everyone to go on mute, please?
I request all the students to mute. Satvik, can you please mute?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
So this is a very small story and I like it. Probably you might have also heard it, but I thought I should bring this up. There was a gentleman who was selling donuts, a very old gentleman who was selling donuts all throughout his life, making his livelihood, making his child learn out of the money that he earned. He sent him to a big school. So what he did was he always sold donuts in this van. He brought more stores as the sales increased. He brought more dove as the sales increased. There is so every day his sales was increasing. He was making good money out of it. He was absolutely happy. He was selling more donuts day in day out, making money out of it. And that was giving him a good life. He was living a very happy life out of the money that he earned, out of the work that he did. And then he also spent a part of his money in educating his only child. This guy got graduated. He was highly qualified and he had a good understanding of market by reading through many books, articles, and foreseeing what might happen in the near future. With his education, what this guy did was he came back after his graduation. He came back to his town. He told his father, are you aware of the great famine or drought or recession that is going to come in the near future? Right? Then his father was a little upset. He never had heard about recession, about drought or anything of a pandemic like we have now. He had never heard about it. Then this gentleman who graduated from the college said, we're going to have a recession very soon. So it's better that you control your business, see how much inventory you're stocking up, see how much of money you're investing back in your business. So it's better you be careful. Then the old man who was selling donut all throughout without any market intelligence, market research, he thought, now that my son is more intelligent than I am, let me listen to what my son is saying. Then after that, he started reducing his inventory. He reducing his production of donuts, and that eventually he started losing customers. Right. As soon as he started losing customers, he felt that his son was right, that there is a recession, there is a famine already in the market, which is hitting my sales. But actually, what he had done, he had listened to his advice from an educated person like his son, with no experience on what was happening on the ground, and he thought his son might be right because he's more educated, and then started reducing his production on his own. That led to reduction in his customers and therefore the profitability. So he ended up working less because he was less motivated, less earnings, and then finally he realized, oh, now is a time that the recession has already hit. Right. So it all became a virtual game. It was a mind that was thinking that there is a recession that is already hit. Why I want to bring this story at this point in time is while there is so much of negativity in the market, that there are job losses, recession, everything, I have always been recommending people or fresh graduates who are coming out of the college. You guys are lucky because you are just entering into the college now, or into the graduation or into post graduation now. People who are coming out, I've always advised them, just put your head down and work. Don't worry about what is going to happen. So it's important that, focus on what you're doing, focus on what is you're supposed to do from your qualifications, your certification, your education standpoint, and rest will fall in place. So, and that's why the title of the slide says, let the common sense prevail. Do what you're supposed to do. Rest of the things will fall in place. With that short story, I'll now get into the trend that all of you might be interested in. What is happening in the industry? What is that will happen when I come out of the institute in the next 2 years? Do I have to learn C? Do I have to learn C++? What should be my focus area? And all kind of questions that you might have in mind, or there might be other questions as well. So this slide I've prepared keeping in mind just to focus on the fundamentals. On the right, again, these are my personal thoughts. If you look at the way the industry is behaving now, it's quite versatile. I would say it's not very stable in terms of what it expects. But then, few points I think are important. Now, the first point is moving from a generic skill set to a specific skill set. This is what most of the people say, that you need to be a specialist rather than a generalist, right? Like you need to be a doctor of a special part of or the organ in the body rather than just being an MBBS doctor, right? So when you look at IT industry, there are product organizations, there are services organizations. Product organizations look for specialists who can work day in, day out on one single technology, one single product, or a variant of those products. It can be version 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, right? They keep changing the name, but then by and large, the framework of the product remains the same. So the product organization, they look for specialized skill set, and depending on the person's interest progressing in a specific project or a product, they take that person and they ask him to work day in, day out, him or her to work day in, day out on that skill set only. And a good example of a product organization can be SAP, can be Salesforce, can be Oracle, or anything else, in those lines. And on the other side, you will have the services organization like TCS, Wipro, where most, these are the companies who come for campus recruitment towards the end of your, or probably in the third semester of your course. And then there is a lot of process they'll follow in terms of getting the test done. So these are the organizations. They are called services organization because they don't have a product of their own. They kind of get customers and provide IT services to them. So such organizations look out for generic skill sets. So a person learning C, C++ in today's world, he or she should be in a position to learn Java, Python, or any other latest technology, Golang, or any database. So it is a combination. So you will kind of hear this statement coming from people coming from industry, that either you be a generalist or you be a specialist, but both of them will help you. It doesn't really matter. It is all about your interest and your preference and your passion, right? The second point is reducing the overall time to market is the biggest challenge these days. Gone are those days where people will sit and wait for 2 years for a product to come into market, and then they are going to test it for another 5 years, and then it is rolled out. Now people want to see things being rolled out into market in less than 3 months time. So being agile is the key. Agile can be a framework that you might learn in your MCA course. What kind of principles are there in Agile, Scrum practice, all that you might end up learning in your course. But this Agile, what I mean is, you as an individual will have to be agile. You need to be really fast in delivering solutions to industry or to the market. Cost challenges from matured economies. So what it means is, when I started in 2005, that is when I joined Wipro from MIT as a campus recruitee. There was absolutely no cost challenge. So I submitted a lot of work packs, a commercial work pack to a customer saying this project will take 6 months and therefore the cost is say $100,000. Then the customer would not negotiate too much. What is now happening is, if I say 6 months and $100,000, the first challenge that I'll always have is, why 6 months? Why can't it be done tomorrow? Forget about 1 month or 2 months or 3 months of discussion. The question is, why can't it be done tomorrow? What is stopping you with so much of technology that has advanced? And if it is being done tomorrow, it cannot be $100,000. It has to be something less, right? So cost challenges are increasing day by day, and every single technology that you are going to learn is something that has to be used to develop a product or an application that will reduce the overall cost or time to go live. Time to go live, in the sense, the development time has to be reduced so that the end user can start using those applications. Okay. Customer knowing more than the supplier these days. So supplier, I mean companies like Wipro, TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, or even SAP for that matter, right? It can be a product supplier or a services. Sorry. Okay. So it can be a product supplier or a services supplier. What is happening is, the customer
Audio is not so good.
audio is not good.
Hello,
Yeah.
students. Any problem with the audio? No, I don't have any problem. I can hear you properly.
Yes, sir.
Is it for all or only for one?
Who is facing problem with the audio? You can disconnect and you check your audio and reconnect.
Several times.
No, this would be a network problem, so probably you would need to check it at your end.
I'll try again, ma'am.
Yes.
You
thank
try
you.
again, okay? Please don't interrupt, okay?
Ma'am.
Yeah. So Dinner, you
Yes.
you can continue.
Sure. Let me share my screen again. I was just checking my network as well. I think my network looks okay. It's perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
There's no problem with your network.
Ah,
You're
okay.
audible
All
as well as we can see your screen also.
Okay, all right. So fourth point, customer knowing more than the supplier. From a technology standpoint, customer is more enabled, knowledgeable than the supplier these days. So whenever we go and visit the customer today, they would have had a person who understands technology better than what I know. So they can talk about any kind of technology to any depth. So when you guys enter into market tomorrow, you will start facing customers who are better than you. So it is always essential that you scale up to meet the customer requirements. You scale up so that you can talk absolutely confident to your customers. Fifth point that I see is the smaller businesses, and including us. We are a very small company. We are about 25 people, right? We are trying to disrupt the market. We are trying to do something that Wipro cannot do, or Infosys cannot do. Our objective is to disrupt market, give a solution, give a product at such a low price, or at a better quality, that the other organization, for them, it becomes difficult to compete with us. So classic example is my own organization. It's been about 6 months for me in this organization, and as a sales officer, chief sales officer, my objective is to go to market with competitive price, better solution than bigger organizations. Only then I'll be able to disrupt market. cloud technology is picking up like nothing else. It is one of the cheapest way of building an organization these days. You don't have to buy servers at all. You don't have to have a CIO organization. Of course, if there was a CIO on the call, he would have been hurted. But then cloud technology is so well done by organizations like Microsoft or Amazon Cloud or Google Cloud. For that matter, we also have our own cloud, but it's a very small cloud. We can't compete with Microsoft or Amazon. But companies like Amazon or Google or say Microsoft are doing it so well that your initial investment on the server is zero. You are going to, so the server that costed me about say 5 lakhs in way back in 2005 is going to cost me hardly a few thousand rupees now. As an individual, I'll be able to buy my own server. So that is the power of cloud. So in the next 2 years, if you can concentrate on cloud technologies, get yourself certified, understand what can happen on cloud, I think that's a good point for you all to start with. People have been talking about, now coming to the 7th point, people have been talking about data, right? Data is no more a driver. People have been talking, oh, there is a lot of data, then you can do many things. Having data is just like having your groceries at home. Unless you cook, unless you make something delicious out of it, there is no use. No one is going to enjoy it. So data is something that has to be processed in a way it can be consumed by the end user. End user is your customer, right? It has to be consumed. It has to be understood. The customer should be in a position to take actions at the back of that. Only then your data becomes relevant. If there is an opportunity for you all to look at data sciences as an option in the next 2 years, I would urge or I would recommend that you should, if you're passionate about data, right? It is not everyone's interest. So if you're passionate about data gathering, analyzing data, and it is just not say a few thousand records, it will be in millions and billions of records. So you should try and analyze. There are a lot of algorithms about data analysis. Try and understand those. Okay. Remote working or monitoring, right? This is another trend that has started. Remote working, I don't mean working from home. That's a different thing. I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about IoT. IoT is a bigger thing that everyone is talking about these days, but hardly a few people or a few companies are actually implementing IoT. And I'm happy to say that Altrum Leren is one of the organizations who are actually implementing a good IoT solution. So what this means is your machinery that is used for manufacturing, it can be pharmaceutical manufacturing, it can be manufacturing the motors, it can be manufacturing anything. You can sit and monitor those machines from a remote location. There are sensors, there are programming logical controllers that are added. Data comes onto the cloud. You can precisely tell that this machine is going to fail on say 15th of September because the lubricant oil as on date is not correct. The temperature of the lubricant oil is going consistently high. So that becomes a information for the people who are sitting remotely. So remote working and remote monitoring. And again, I would say remote working is not working from home. That's not what I'm referring to. It's about sitting somewhere else. If there is a sugarcane industry in a remote location, a person sitting in Mangalore or in Bangalore or in Hyderabad can remotely monitor how that factory is working for him. So that is what I was referring to. So IoT is the next industrial revolution. If you are keen in understanding machines, understanding electronics, and by the way, I think electronics might be one more subject in MCA if it is still retained. And if you have that subject, please give enough of importance to that. That's going to be the next big thing. Though you will be focusing on the software development, please show some interest on electronics as well. That will really help you grow. Now, the next perspective that I wanted to bring was this is where we started in 2005. We were also agile and things changed. they said no, let's follow waterfall process, do one after the other. Now after 15 years, market has again gone back to agile. So it's a cycle. The trend keeps changing. You never know by 2030 when you guys are about 8 to 10 years into the industry, you might again want to talk only waterfall model. You say agile is very expensive and all that. One person is responsible for everything. When I started my career, I was a developer, I was testing, I was deploying, I was doing everything. Now, if you look at it, we are again going back to full stack development where everyone is doing everything. Between 2005 and 2015, there were times when there were dedicated teams for testing, when there are dedicated teams for development. Now, you would not want to have a dedicated team. You would want a cross-functional team who can one person doing multiple things, because that gives you a edge on the cost. And bear this in mind that IT is an enabler. What we guys do as part of our IT experience, we are just enabling one more business to work efficiently. IT cannot run in isolation. It is not that you have written a program today which only you can use, then it is of no use. It has to help another business. It can be any business. It can be a small grocery shop to a big BMW manufacturing plant. It should help some other business to grow, to work efficiently. That is what IT is all about. So in the next 2 years, I think these things will come to you, one day or the other. You will talk about design as part of your software development life cycle. You'll talk about architecture, coding in various, probably you might start from C, C++, Java, and if they have introduced any other things, then coding standards. What I would request all of you is everyone pays interest here, pays interest here. No one pays interest here in documentation and presentation. While this is the starting, you need to know how to document and how to present your ideas. Unless you present and advertise your ideas, you cannot sell it. And people think that testing is very low profile job. Let's not pick up. Please pay attention on testing as well. A better tester is a better developer, a person who can identify scenarios. And this is purely coming from what I have experienced when I joined the industry and when I see people joining my company now. They absolutely lack in documentation. They have absolutely no clue in writing one paragraph of requirement. I think we should start writing requirements, documenting properly. And the third thing is, the third thing at the bottom, second thing at the bottom is the process. You need to know what kind of process. There are ITIL process for support. There are various coding standards. I'm sure everyone will concentrate on this also. There is a lot of emphasis given during the course, if I'm not wrong. Only this box, this circle, and this circle, we are not very focused. So I would request, please pay attention on documentation, and also please pay a lot of attention on what your customers want. Okay. The challenge that I see, while the earlier slide was more of trend and opportunities in IT industry, the challenge that I see when you guys come out of the college or the institute or the university are these. Especially a technical course like MCA, BTech or MTech, focusing specifically on technology or core, production or manufacturing part. If you look at electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, or for that matter, computer science engineering, or MCA for that matter, people who come out of such course, including me when I joined the industry, I'm not saying that Sorry, I had lost network for a minute. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So financial and commercial knowledge is something we tend to lack. How do we price a software? How do we price the services? What kind of commercial model is required to be presented to the customer? We also focus less on the domain knowledge. Like I said, IT is an enabler. It cannot exist in isolation. It has to be for a specific domain. It can be for a, say, a water utilities domain, or for a pharmaceutical industry, or banking and financials, or insurance industry. So IT has to be for one of these, one or more of these domains. It is important that we spend some time understanding, getting a overview of what these domains are, how do they function. That will give you an edge when you land into the market in the next 2 years. And the third thing is a marketing and sales skill. We always need to understand what is ethical selling. Ethical selling is something that, you sell what you actually know. It is not that you give a false promise to the customer and then do something. When you end up into the industry, these are few things that will really help you understanding what the customer wants, what is the demand, and what is that you're supplying. Learn more about market, what in terms of what the requirement, what the trends are in the market, what is your customer looking for from a domain knowledge standpoint, and try and assist them to improve their business. You are successful in the industry only when your customer is successful, and your customer is successful when you know about their business. Only then you'll be able to propose IT solution, right? So just to summarize, what is important on this slide is, please focus on documentation and presentation. I'm sure all of you, because you're going to join MCA as a course, you will anyways pay attention on coding. That would be your first priority. You would anyways pay attention on architectures. You would look at design, testing, and process. But what is more important is how do you document things. So please pay focus on this as well, because this is a bigger challenge that I completely where people ignore. Writing one single page document becomes such a big challenge that they give up. They say, no, I'm not a document writer. So this is where the MBA students will take a competitive edge when compared to a technical batch. They can write documents, hundreds of pages of document, but what they cannot do is this. What the customer sees is this first. So if you want to be a holistic professional, it is important that you focus on documentation, you focus on your customer needs, and if at all there is an opportunity in the course, you need to understand the financial models, what is prevailing in the industry now, because there is cloud, there are user based. So depending on the number of user, you are charging the customer. Depending on number of transactions that happen between an application server and the database server and the users, depending on the monthly transactions that happen, you charge the customer. So there are fantastic commercial models that one would want to understand. And how do you want to do this? Go to Microsoft website, pick one of their products, and understand what kind of commercial model they're working on. Go to Amazon website, pick the same product with the same functionality, see what kind of commercial model they are operating on. You will see the difference. You need to understand why is there a difference. Then you will get to know what is the idea behind proposing a certain commercial model, right? Because these are the few areas that will keep bothering us always as soon as we land into an industry. But sooner or later, everyone will pick this up. It is not that it is a rocket science and no one can learn this. It is just that the sooner you learn, the better it is. The last one is art of storytelling. You need to be a good storyteller. You not in the right sense. Not that you need to give a story which people are not convinced about. Storytelling is required, and if you few of the great organizations, they have a new role called chief storyteller, and this is happening in the industry, that you will have a role called a chief storyteller. What he or she will do is package your solution in such a way that it will become of a great interest to your customer, because everything is driven by the customer. There cannot be anything that you can build that the customer is not ready to buy. That means it is of no use. So chief storytellers organization, and they will have a team of, say, 15 or 20. If the organization is big enough, they will have about 100, 200 people who focus on building great stories, what the organization is doing, and then communicate that story through various channels. It can be a personal meeting, or like the one that we are having now, a virtual call, or through any of the social media channels. Can be LinkedIn, can be Facebook, or anything of that sort. So storytelling is an art. You need to articulate your thoughts in a way that people understand and people buy your story. So it is not just a normal story. So let me clarify, what does storytelling mean? It is about what work you're doing, what kind of software you're building, where will the software be implemented, what kind of benefits will the software give you. In, say, 1 year from implementation, what benefits will you see? 2 years from implementation, what benefits will you see? So these are few points that you need to focus on. It's just not a normal storytelling like the one that I told you on the second slide. The second slide was more of an icebreaker for me. But as a professional storyteller, you need to know what your organization does, what is that you do from a technical standpoint, and convert that into something that will be of interest. So I'll move on to the next slide. So before that, these 4 boxes will be quite important. I would request if you can keep this in mind and then focus on this. So this slide I have prepared, keeping in mind that you might have a lot of questions. What do we do now? What do we do in the next 1 year? There are a lot of remote classes that are starting. How do we cope up with everything, right? Towards the end of 2 years, what is that we're going to do? So one thing I would request everyone on the call today, the fresh batch joining MCA at MIT, it is quite important to answer one question. And towards in another 5 minutes, I'll probably stop, or probably another 7 minutes, I'll stop. And I would want a few responses as well. If someone asks, what do you want to do? I think that's an important question to answer. And it is not that what is that you want to become. There are two different things. So if you can answer that question towards the end of the call, we will have a quick discussion on what does it mean. Right now, coming back to this slide, when you join MIT, you have two options, right? You can, as soon as you join, even today, you can think like an entrepreneur. Think that you want to open your own organization. What is that you want to do? Right? As you advance in the course, be it year 1, end of year 1, or end of year 2, the number of options that you will have will increase. Now there is no campus recruitment you are going to have anyways, because it's your year 1 start. So you will have your friends, you will have your batchmates. You can think of being an entrepreneur, and MIT is a great place because you have a lot of incubation centers. You have a lot of place where you can do R&D. You have a good support system, and it is the organization or the institute itself has got a lot of connect. If things work out really well with your ideas, you will get an opportunity to take off, right? So you can always think like an entrepreneur right from today. What if you have an idea? I think you need to come up with a plan. How do you fund it? How do you start? From where do you start? What kind of resources you need? I'm sure MIT is a great place for such entrepreneurs. we've been looking at so many articles on the internet where students of MIT have done a lot of good things, right? I think start of this year, because you will have some time, you're working or you're studying remotely, connecting from home. I would say you should spend some time thinking of what you can do. Then midway you will have your say towards the end of second semester, or when you're in third semester, you will have your placements, discussions, all that will come into picture. And towards the end of the year, you will have your placements. You can think of being an entrepreneur, or you can go for your higher studies. Then you will also have an option to join organizations and start your work. But the value will keep increasing, right? As the earlier you start, the higher the value it is. And there is something called as confusion level. As you wait till the end of year one or year two, the confusion levels are going to increase. So it's quite important that you realize, you spend some time for yourself and identify what is required, what needs to be done, and keeping the opportunities in mind that I talked about cloud, about remote working or remote monitoring, which is IoT, and about data sciences. These are three things. And also focusing on what can be the drawbacks about the financial understanding, about marketing skills, and the other aspects that I touched upon. Keeping those things in mind, if you can start focusing on what you want to do in the next 2 years, I think that will be a good starting point. That will kind of, you will a lot of confusions will be cleared off. This is my last slide, I think. Yeah, it's 3:10. I understand that there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of anxiousness among the people who are joining this course for the very reason that the entire world is going through this situation. What I would say is you are the people who are best placed as on date. The risk factor is absolutely low. You are just getting into a institute for your post graduation, and by the time you guys come out, it is nothing like you would have ever experienced corona at all. You would have the market back in place. Your campus recruitments are going to start. Industry is going to be back to normal. So I don't think you should be unduly be worried about any such thing. So if you look at year 2020, it is just going to be remembered as a rounding off error. The fractional rounding off that we do when we do the balance sheet or when we do Excel calculation, right? So just forget it. Focus on that. You'll have an opportunity to learn, explore, plan, implement in MIT. It's a great place. Therefore, I would always say enjoy your next 2 years. You'll have a fantastic support from the faculty and your batchmates. I think that's what you need to utilize. This, like I said, is going to be a lifelong engagement with the institute, with your batchmates, right? These are the people who are going to, if you have ideas of becoming an entrepreneur, these are the people who are going to help you out with no much of expectations. So utilize this relationship in the next 2 years. Utilize the time. You will have a lot of avenues. Like I said, MIT is a great place to be. You've got a lot of incubation centers, fantastic faculty. So explore as much as possible, and explore and exploit. You need to go to your professors. You need to talk to them and get everything done. Understand. The more you probe, the more you get. It's like the crying baby gets fed first, right? Unless you cry, no one is going to feed you. As much as you get is all that you'll get, but if you want more, you need to cry. So keep that in mind. Opportunity to Manipal, like I was just asking, is it raining in Manipal? It's a fantastic place, so experience it. There's a lot of things that you can explore. You can go around. I think that's a nice place. Manipal is a fantastic place. So it's a scenic beauty, I would say. So experience it. You guys are at the least commitment. You neither have I'm sure all of you are just coming out of your graduation and joining this course. In the next 2 years, you will have least commitment. You will have your fundings being done by your parents. I think you need to focus on what you are supposed to do and don't think too much about what is going to happen after 2 years. It is important that you focus on what you would want to do right now, right? And you will have enough of time in understanding what is that you want to do. Leverage that time. Understand what is that you want to do. Question yourself every day. Only then you're going to improve. With that, I would want to close this session. I would once again thank you all and good luck for this course. I'm sure all of you would have a better future when you come out of this institute. And thanks to Archana and Purnima ma'am for getting this arranged. I'm open to take any questions now.
Students, the session is open for you. You can ask any question. Sudhinder will be answering. So this is the time where you can interact. So please come up with questions.
Any questions are welcome. You don't have to restrict yourself that you need to ask an intellectual question because I'll not be able to give an intellectual answer. So please feel free to ask any question. Okay, we'll wait for 1 more minute and
Yes,
then I'll assume.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there's no question, it means that they've understood everything. What you wanted to deliver, it has reached them.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Sir, my name is Nimish Maheshwari. Sir,
Hi.
what is the latest trends in the market right now? Like it's a DBMS or R programming, Python, or like big data science, data analyst. This is a good.
All that you have mentioned is good. Every single point that you have mentioned is good. DBMS will always stay. It is only that technology is going to change. Probably from Oracle, people might want to move to open source. They would want to explore, say, Postgres or any other InfluxDB, Grafana, or anything of that sort. But everything that you have mentioned, data analytics is always there. Like I mentioned, cloud is another important factor that you need to focus on. But what is important is once you learn this technology, what is that you're going to use this technology is more important.
And sir, we can also say that networking is also good in the market.
Yeah, they are all fundamental. So without network, though, it is impossible. You cannot have anything, right, without network. Even if it is on cloud, networking is really important. If you are passionate about networking, there is nothing like it. Networking will remain, especially with remote monitoring, with the things happening remotely. Networking will always remain. Get a hang of various protocols. Like when you join the course, you learn about TCP, you learn about HTTP. Get a good understanding of all these protocols because these are the ones that are being used in the industry extensively. For IoT, there is a protocol called MQTT, Mosquito Broker. Get a hang of all these protocols if you are interested in networking.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Good luck.
Yeah, any other student with a question? Sanat, do you have a question? Sanat Srivastav, do you have a question? You have unmuted yourself. Do you have a question? Yeah, you can ask. Sanat, you can ask.
Hi, Sanat. Yeah.
Sanat, unmute yourself before asking question.
Yeah.
You're not audible. Yeah.
Audible now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see.
Yes, sir. So I have a question. Like, if a person who is interested in a non-technical background, but like you said, the customer has a very good, like there are few customers who are very well aware about the knowledge, like the programming knowledge of the product. So in that case, like you asked us to scale up with the knowledge. So the surface level knowledge is enough, or do we have to get into deep, like whatever product we are actually dealing with?
Surface level knowledge will not help, Sanat. I'll be very honest. It is always that the devil lies in the detail.
Okay, sir.
So it is quite important that you need to understand the nuts and bolts. It is not necessary though that you need to build the nuts and bolts, but at least you need to understand how they are being built.
So,
Only
sir, like.
then. Hmm,
Like
sorry.
the difference that we have basically at that time when you're going to the marketing side, you don't have that much of, like you were saying, that people generally avoid documentation and presentation. So if
Hmm.
a person is concentrating on that particular space, so is it possible to have it side by side, that person concentrates on coding also and the technical aspects at the same time?
Absolutely. So I focus more on marketing and on sales, but at the same time, I also sit with my technical team and review their codes, go through what they have written, understand the configuration that they have done from both from networking level also. Like for example, of late we were having some VPN issues, so I had to sit all throughout night with my technical team to understand what the issues and help them resolve it. So there is nothing, there is no harm in sitting and understanding what is happening. That will just give you more confidence.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Good luck.
Any more questions?
Hello, sir. This is Parijat, and I
Hi,
just want
Parijat.
I just wanna ask that I'm not good in coding, but my interest is in designing part. So is it good?
No, it is at least good that you've understood where you're not good at. So that is really important. If you're not good at coding, there is no harm. It is not that someone is going to uh, come and ask you. And
But I
designing,
understand that means
yeah,
if someone will do the coding, then I can understand. Means I have the ability to understand that.
absolutely. So designing comes first. So unless you have a robust design,
Hmm.
coding cannot be done. And to be very honest, whatever you want to code is there on the internet these days.
Yeah.
If I Google for any specific functionality, I'll get a code in either C, C++, Java, or whatever technology you want. You can just
And
download.
I think in all the language I'll get that. Yeah.
Correct. So it is important that, but having said that, I'm not demotivating the people who are interested in coding. Okay, they can be more creative in writing something that is not there on the internet. But design plays equally important role. Unless you give a good design, the code that the next level of people are going to write is going to fail.
Because customer will see the design first of all. After that, means many of them doesn't understand the back parts, means coding part.
No, no. These days, I think the trends are changing, Parijat. That customer also understand code. They ask you to check in the code into their repository. They also look at the code, the standards that you have maintained. So there is a chief technology officer organization under whom there are architects. So they review the code.
And
So
so you have mentioned and you have mentioned about higher education after MCA. Then what is the higher education after MCA, like MBA?
No, MBA is not a higher education. Don't go for MBA. I mean, my personal, if you want to do something after MCA, you need to look for PhD.
PhD.
Yes. MBA is not a higher education. It's at par with MCA.
But to become means to go to the management post, I need to do that, right?
No. You don't have to do a MBA if you want to go to management roles. A good, sound technical person will be a good manager. It is not that a person who does an MBA will be a good manager.
Okay, sir.
Right? So you will gradually grow. So that is why I'm saying, as you remember those 3 points: understanding finances, understand your marketing skills, and the third point was understanding the domain. These 3 things will take you from a normal technical role into a consultant role or a management role. And don't when you say management, are you referring to becoming a project manager or a program manager?
Yes, sir.
Don't aim for such roles. You are getting into a good institute, you are getting into a good course. Project manager and program managers are all they're okay kind of a role. If you want to come into a better role, look at being a consultant, look at being an architect.
Okay, sir. Thank
Otherwise you will end up in just managing people. You will not grow as an individual. You will just start managing people. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, good luck. I can take one last question before we close the call.
Yes. Last question from any student. Quickly.
Hello, sir. I am Manohar Prabhu.
Hi, Manohar.
Sir, I just wanted to ask that being pro in more than one language is good, or I just have to learn only one language to go further in IT department?
See, if you are able to master more than one language, there is nothing like it. But when the language changes, the syntax changes. Apart from that, it is more of the logic that you need to focus on. Correct?
Sir, basically what a company is, that I want to know.
Company looks for logic. They don't look for specific language. Only when you are a fresher, they look for logic. If they are doing a lateral hiring, say after 5 years of working, you want to jump into another company, that is when they look out for specific technology or experience in specific language.